According to King's Health, 25% of adoption are committed by strangers. What does that say? It means that majority of the adoption of children are done by people who knows those children, meaning it's always an inside job. So anyway guys, today's video is a true story video, and I will leave it to you to decide at the end of the video if leaving your children with friends and family is an okay thing to do when you have no childcare or anybody to help you. Anyway guys, without fluffing around, let's get right into this video.
That's my biggest achievement in life.
For the sake of this video, I'll call this lady Lucy. So Lucy, she's a wife, she's a mother, and she lives with her husband and her two children. And she works very hard, as well as her husband. And Lucy and her husband, because both of them work, they needed somebody to come look after their children, a childminder, or some people call them babysitter, somebody that can come into their house to come and look after the children, so the children can feel comfortable in their own environment, which is fair enough. And she told friends about this childminder or somebody that could look after their children. And Lucy's mother-in-law said she has a friend who can actually babysit for them. And Lucy was like, I don't want somebody we know. I want a stranger, somebody that we don't know that can come in and do a professional job. And the mother-in-law, she insisted that the friend would do a good job. She vouched for her friend. So Lucy, being a good daughter-in-law, and she doesn't want to offend her mother-in-law, she agreed and said, okay, it's fine, let your friend come do the job. So Lucy mother-in-law's friend came over and started looking after the children. And after a few weeks, Lucy was kind of pleased with the new childminder, because she was actually taking care of the children, making sure they were having their shower, making sure they were eating vegetables and eating right, and she made sure the children went to bed on time. She respected their bedtime, which was fantastic with Lucy, and everything was going on well and perfectly fine until this fateful day when Lucy's son, who is 4 years old, asked Lucy, are you my mother? Like, are you my true mother? And Lucy was taken back by that question, and she looked at her son and said, where is this coming from? Of course I am your mother, but where is this coming from? Why are you asking me that? And the son, he was reluctant to speak, he was reluctant to say much. And Lucy, she kind of reassured him and told him he's not in trouble, that he can tell her anything. And finally the son told Lucy that the babysitter has been telling him and her sister, which is the other baby, that she is their real mother, and that Lucy was just the money making machine, that she goes out to make money for them, that she is their true mother. And every time they try to resist that talk, to say you are not our mother, the childminder or the babysitter will not only reaffirm that she is their mother, she will also scream at the children to say that I am your mother. And Lucy was so heartbroken. So immediately she called her husband. She told her husband about it. And because the man supports his wife like every good man should do, both of them, they called the childminder babysitter and said, listen, we don't want you in our house anymore. This is what we know, or our son told us that you are doing. She did not deny it, and they just stopped her service that same day. And the couple, Lucy and her husband, they called the mother-in-law to explain everything to the mother-in-law on the phone, to say, this is what your friend has been doing. She has been trying to tell our children that she is their mother. And they explained everything step by step to this woman, to the mother-in-law. And guess what? The mother-in-law was taking the side of the friend. She was like, I know, but still, please, my friend, she has no children, she has no grandchildren, like that is anybody's business. And these children that my friend has, and she kept arguing and arguing with Lucy and her husband. She wasn't trying to reason with them in any way. So they hung up the phone on the mother-in-law, and right there they said, this is it, we don't want anything to do with this woman. You would think that would be the end of the issue. No, it wasn't. The mother-in-law had to send a video to Lucy and her husband that night, a video of her friend crying in her own house. My goodness. And she sent it to Lucy to say, listen, what you guys have done, you have actually hurt my friend. My friend is not in a good place mentally. She is crying. Anyway, Lucy and her husband, they felt like, okay, it's like we've done something wrong. So both of them, they took to the internet to ask people to say, this is what is going on in our house. What do you guys think? And actually, people on the internet, everyone was supporting Lucy and her husband, and they stood with them and said, listen, what you have done is correct. Because according to Kids Health, 25% of children who are adopted are only done by strangers. Majority of the children who are adopted are done by people who know those children, meaning it is always or mostly an inside job. So people told them what you are doing is correct, because this woman is trying to confuse the children, and she's trying to speak to their subconscious mind and make them think that, okay, because after a while they will start thinking that this particular woman is truly their mother, because she understands the power of the subconscious mind, and keep saying something to a child, after a while they will believe you. So my take on this story is this: if you are married and you and your partner or your boyfriend or whoever are living together and you have children, even if you guys don't live together, try and make arrangements to say, when I'm working, or one person can be doing day, one person can be doing night, especially when the children are really young like that, so you guys can take care of your children. These days you can't really trust people with your children, and if for whatever reason you need a childminder, or you need somebody to look after them for you, I think, for my opinion, I think a nursery is better than somebody coming into your house. Because even if you have a camera in your house, there won't be camera in every bedroom, every corner, if you know what I mean. Because these people, they might actually hurt your children in their own house. But if you put them in a nursery, there'll be other people there, there'll be other children, there'll be other workers. And before you put your child in a nursery, I think you should check out the reviews, and not just check what you see online. Speak to the parents who take their children there, and see for yourself and hear them tell you what they have experienced, what do they think, and stuff like that. Not just one, speak to different parents, and make sure that the nursery has a camera. So for whatever reason, before you take your child to a nursery, I think you check their body for any marks, check everything, their feet, their legs, everything about them, to make sure that they are fine, especially when they are just starting the daycare or the nursery. And when they come home, you check their body marks again for any marks, for any bruises. And if there's anything you're not sure about, speak out. These are your babies, these are your children. It is not easy to carry any pregnancy. Pregnancy for 9 months, you don't have a life, the body is not yours, it is difficult. So I think you should be able to speak out to say, if you're not sure about anything, can I see the cameras? Because you should be able to ask them, like, for whatever reason, will I be able to watch the cameras? You know what I mean? Don't just put your child anywhere and say, okay, you are looking for money, and forget them somewhere, put them somewhere where there is no camera and you don't call at all. Even when you are working, you are busy, try and call and check on your children. Don't just leave them in a nursery. Don't just trust people with your children. Anyway, this story, the mother-in-law, I don't know what kind of friendship you have with that kind of friend, where you will actually trust and back your friend instead of your grandkids and your sons and your daughter-in-law. I don't understand. And that lady, why would you not have children? I'm sure she's just kind of women, a feminist. When she was younger, she told herself, I don't want children, I don't need them, I want to travel the world. And now you are old, now you are lonely, you want to take other people's children to be your own children. Anyway, guys, this is the end of this video. What do you think of the story? Have you ever heard something like this? Have you experienced it? Please drop a comment, your comment in the comment section below. Let us have a conversation. Thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe and like my channel and like my videos, and I will see you on my next one. Bye.